Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty, pretty, pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand. Head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then side to the left.
Good evening, welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great Monday. We're trying to make it a little bit better for you. Tonight we're back with the latest in sports, fashion, movie reviews, and the best indie music out there. Then later in the show we welcome BJ Williams, who is the founder of Can I Be Vulnerable? It's a platform that allows men to pretty much engage in topics that we really don't talk about, like mental health, therapy, being vulnerable. Definitely a great conversation, so you want to tune into that. Then in Hot Topics, we have D. Lane, who's actually joining us as a special co-host. Miss Parker's out. It's her birthday. So happy birthday. She's in Costa Rica living it up. But D. Lane will join us to weigh in on everything everyone's talking about. You know, that new Michael Jackson documentary that premiered yesterday and today. There's a lot of backlash and controversy around that, as well as Oprah is doing a sit-down panel with the two accusers and the director of the documentary, and she's getting backlash for that. But all that much more in Hot Topics. I want to remind you, all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com, where you can get your t-shirts, you can learn more about the team. But check us out. Listen, when we come back, Hot Topics, right back after this.
I love the way you call my name. It's a feeling I can't explain. Your love drives me crazy. You know it makes me go insane. I never thought I would fall this hard for a girl I barely know. No matter how hard I try, I realize this feeling I can't control. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always, I can't get enough, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I can't get enough, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love. Is it the way you wear your hair, or the way you make mistakes? Your love takes over me, baby girl, you make me weak. And though I barely know this girl, she's always on my mind. A love story found in movies, this took me by surprise. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always, I can't get enough, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love, so addicted, I can't get enough, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted to love. The way you move, the things you do, drive me crazy, crazy. Not ashamed to say I love you, baby, baby, baby. I never thought I would fall this hard for a girl I barely know. No matter how hard I try, I realize this feeling I can't control. I can't stop loving you, loving you, girl, I want this forever, I want you always, I can't get enough, I'm addicted to love, I'm addicted
I was 17 with a pair of 23. Used to care about the flashy lights. I used to wanna be like Usher, practice in the mirror. That's when I used to fantasize. With college I would go to with girls I really know you. Frontin' when you broke for real. With that minimum wage, I was minimum saving. Studio money still. Now I'm on the road for real. Leaving all I know for real. Do everything you have to. Life it don't wait for you. Any second could go for real. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. Any second might go, go, go up. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. I was 25, blessed to be alive, chasing my dream this time. Always want to. I used to be scared to. Follow my heart, 'cause what were the chances that it could happen for someone like me? Now I choose to see, choose to dream, choose to be, choose to see. 'Cause when it's all over, how you gon' want the world to remember the life you left behind? For real, even all I know, for real. Do everything you have to, life it don't wait for you. Any second could go for real. Now I'm on the road, for real. Even all I know, for real. Do everything you have to. Life it don't wait for you. Any second could go for real. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. Any second might go, go, go up. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. So put it on the line tonight. Singing might, keep rapping might, keep dancing might. Any second might, street baller might blow. College kid might blow. Keep dreaming, keep dreaming, keep dreaming might blow. Oh, I just can't give up like that. No, I just can't give up like that. 8 years in the boot, that's 8 exact 8 years in the boot, will not subtract. It took me here, so won't look back. Not here for fame, just love for that. You feel me though? I'm pushing past. Any second might just blow up fast. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. Any second might go, go, go up. This is for the dreamers. Everybody dream up. Every time we link up, it's a celebration. Any second might go, go, go. So put it on the line tonight.
This is Chike Evans, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker is out tonight because it is her birthday. Shout out to Miss Parker. Enjoy Costa Rica. She'll be back later this week.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And Janera, her birthday is actually tomorrow. So, you know, it's Pisces. We got a lot of Pisces here. My birthday is on the 20th, but, you know, we still have some time to celebrate that. But happy birthday to Miss Parker and to Janera. Want to remind you that we're on all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and, of course, our official website is StephenKnightShow.com. You can order your T-shirts, check out the team, find out things we have going on. Chike, what's going on with you?
I'm just trying. I'm still in shock over these pictures that Miss Parker got
Oh,
going
my
on
God.
in Costa Rica. She's
Yeah.
living her best life.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely been working
Chocolate
out.
sister all over there.
Yeah. She's definitely been working out, as you can see, and she's looking great in her bathing suits and everything.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
That's Mr. International right there.
That's her. Goals. Travel goals. How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. It snowed here, so it kind of messed up my Sunday. I was supposed to go to a red carpet premiere for a movie, M3 Prime. We had them on the show a couple times, the Johnsons.
Yeah.
They debuted a new film called The Hustle. I was on my way to the red carpet, opened the door, and seen great amount of snow. So I was like, yeah, this is not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say, but stay warm. Stay warm. That's all I can say. Well, tonight I asked a good friend of mine to join us in our Hot Topic segment. D-Lane, I met him through my homeboy Derek, and we know each other for a few years now. So welcome, D-Lane. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
No problem. What's up?
Nothing much. Tell the listeners a little bit about you.
Oh man, I see. I'm really. I don't know, man. I'm an asshole, but in a good way. You know, I'm for my people. You know, I'm all about my people.
Most definitely.
Speaking my mind, you know that.
All right.
Always.
Yeah, and that's why it was funny. Chike, he listened to one of our shows one day and he hit me up. Y'all need to bring me on the panel so I can be like the Charlamagne the God of the show. Give his opinion. I think it'd definitely be a good addition tonight. So again, I appreciate you joining us. All right,
No
so
problem.
Absolutely, brother.
our question of the day. You know, we're going to talk more about the new documentary about Michael Jackson, but you know, Oprah's hosting a special tonight where she has the accusers on, and I believe the film producer, and she's getting controversy and backlash for having them on, giving them a platform. But what are your thoughts on Oprah hosting the special tonight? We'll start with you, D-Lane.
Well, usually I would have a problem with black people tearing down other black people.
Uh-huh.
But in this case, I feel like Oprah has a big enough voice for people to hear what we have to say in our own community, as far as that uncle that nobody talks to, or a friend of the family that you're scared to go around, stuff like that. I think in the black community we tend to hide or shade things that are really going on, and sometimes it needs to be brought to the forefront. I mean, this is no different than everybody talking about R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
It's same thing. It's just that Michael Jackson's such a big icon, and he's passed away. He can't defend himself. But if it happened, it happened, and it's like Bill Cosby and anybody. So if you have an opinion on that, I mean, and you feel a certain way about that, you think he's innocent or whatever it may be, or if you think he's guilty, it's the exact same thing. That's my personal opinion.
Okay. Chike?
It all depends on how Oprah. We don't know what her angle is going to be yet because it hasn't happened yet. People tend to forget that Oprah is an investigative reporter first. That's where she came from. So I think that if anybody could get to the bottom of it and get the truth with all aspects being covered, from both sides, whether you're for or against, or you believe it or you don't believe it, I think that her questioning and getting to the truth will satisfy everyone. So I'm suspecting that we'll get to the truth. Not that the film didn't portray that, but I'm sure her line of questioning will irrefutably leave us with a definitive answer on what we feel.
Yeah, I think, why not Oprah? Oprah is someone, she has a history of doing great interviews and tackling difficult subject matters such as this. She's talked about sexual abuse previously on her shows and other specials she's done. And again, we haven't even seen what she's going to do. We haven't seen the special to know whether or not to give her flack. I think someone like Oprah would be perfect for it because she would ask the questions I think a lot of us fans or non-fans of Michael Jackson will want to know. So I think she's a good choice for it. So I'll reserve judgment until I see the special before I can't really comment on that. But tweet us at home, Stephen Knight Show, SHO, and let us know what are your thoughts on Oprah hosting the special tonight with the accusers featured in the new Michael Jackson documentary. All right, so speaking of the documentary, it aired, part one aired yesterday, and part two airs tonight. So it left a lot of people speechless. Last night, Wade Robson, who's 36, and James Safechuck, who's 40, made their Leaving Neverland debut. The accusers left Michael Jackson's fans shook. Some of the accounts that they indicated said that Michael allegedly spent hours with them on the phone every day. Both his accusers, both Wade Robinson's mother and James Safechuck's family say that Michael Jackson called all day and spoke with elementary age boys. He eventually even spent countless nights with Safechuck's home in his bedroom. They also said Michael allegedly groomed the parents and families with 5-star treatment before he allegedly moved in on the children. Robinson's parents divorced over his mom's consistent trips with him to MJ. Then his mom chose to move away from her son and bipolar diagnosed ex-husband in Australia to be closer to Michael Jackson with Wade in LA. Accuser James Safechuck showed off jewelry that MJ allegedly bought him as rewards for alleged sex abuse, including a wedding ring that was allegedly used in a mock wedding ceremony. They alleged that Robinson's mom, allegedly told Wade Robinson's mom that he would get his way when she denied letting him sleep alone, and eventually she did, according to them. Both accusers claimed that MJ allegedly taught them how to masturbate and described French kissing, oral sex, and nipple play in their alleged sex abuse accounts at Neverland. Now, Wade claims MJ replaced him with another boy, Bestie, and similarly did the same thing to the other guy. Pretty much replaced them with younger guys once they hit puberty. Now, the Jackson camp has filed a $100 million lawsuit, pretty much saying that this is all fabrication and it's all about money. Have you seen anything about the documentary? Have you seen the documentary, and what are your thoughts? Do you think, because let's put this out there, both of these guys back in 2005 or 6, whenever the other sexual assault molestation case was out, they both defended him. They both said that he never touched them. They adamantly defended him. But now they said as they're adults, they have children. It's time for them to speak their truth. What are your thoughts on all of this? D-Lane? Sorry.
All right. Well, for one, I have some. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I knew that there was a hint of someone having a sexual relationship with a child, there's no way on earth that I would let my child be there. And that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, it's like saying, hey, you know what? Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But when it was happening, if it happened, you didn't say a word about it. I mean, it's. I don't want to, tie the whole, the Me Too movement into it, because I respect that a lot. But it's almost saying to me, I went, I spoke on Bill Cosby just a little while ago. Bill Cosby, as a black man in 1960, supposedly raped a white woman. I mean, we still live in America. So if that happened in 1960, I don't care how famous you are, as a black man, you're going to jail. So with this, I mean, if there was any to me, these are my thoughts. If there's any doubt that Michael Jackson was innocent, or rather guilty of this, there should have been a further investigation, or someone should have stepped up to the plate and said, "Hey, he did this." But at the time when these people were supposedly getting abused, to defend a man that's abusing you, I just it's hard for me to believe it now. It's just hard.
Yeah. Chica?
So I watched part one,
Okay.
and they're very accurate accounts of things that have happened, very detailed into the letter. That part they had me on because it was so exact. However, when you had an opportunity to speak forward before, you didn't speak forward before. Compounded with, especially with the accounts of how the parents talked about how it systematically grew into a bigger issue because they saw it but they didn't see it, you put your child in harm's way. Listen, I know a lot of parents and I know a lot of children to those parents. And there's just certain things that parents just aren't going to let you do with their children just because. So you're putting me in a suite in a hotel and you and my child are in another suite in another part of the hotel by yourself? No way. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
My child is mine. My child's with me. We'll see you in the morning. Or we're all going to be together.
Exactly.
I just wasn't raised with that, and I don't know any parent in this world that I know personally that would do that or allow for that type of situation to happen. Now, if it had been a family member, maybe, because they've earned some kind of trust. But I don't care who you are, celebrity, because you got money, you put me up in a suite, yeah, my child's for sale. I don't understand.
I agree, because by this point, the 93 accusation already come out, and he settled outside of court. Any kid sending their child to go stay with a 35, 40-year-old man, sleeping in his bed, like you said, doing those kind of things, that's inappropriate. You know what I mean? I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
And I don't care if he's childlike, he never had a childhood. He's a grown man. And like you said, if I was that parent, I'd be there with them. And when we go to bed, we go to bed. And we get up in the morning, y'all can play and do whatever y'all want to do with Bubbles and everybody else. But it wouldn't be a thing where where my child is spending the night in a grown man's suite. And my kid is 7 years old. That makes no sense.
No.
No sense. No sense at all.
And to bring Mr. Kelly into it, that whole situation of like his legend was way ahead of him. That legend had already been in them streets in Chicago for a long time.
Yeah.
Even before he became R. Kelly, the legend was in the streets. So when you're a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girl and someone from his camp, you hear his name and they're offering you a contract, you got to know that he's going to want to have sex with you. You got to know that because that legend of a myth was out there already.
Yeah.
Or maybe perhaps he might want to. Your parents definitely heard it. So you're still going to put yourself in harm's way, and your parents are going to allow you to be in harm's way. That's a little quirky to me. It's not a lot quirky to me.
Yeah, they had a question today I was watching one of the shows, and they were asking, do you think this documentary is going to taint his legacy? I don't think it is, because when we posted information about this on our Instagram, this MJ fan went in. Went off on Oprah, went off on us for posting it, went off on, and just saying that, he has millions and millions of fans all over the world who I don't think they want to believe that. Even if it's true, they don't want to believe that he was capable of doing that just because of what he represented to millions of people.
But the part that I find distasteful is that it's released after his death.
Right.
And like, why can you do this when he was alive, like an expose? But it's done in his death, and he can't defend himself.
Yeah. They were also asking, Gayle King interviewed the brothers, some of the brothers and one of his nephews, and asked how come Janet Jackson hasn't spoken out about this. And the brothers pretty much said that probably because she don't want to give it more attention by putting her name on it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if we can go back to the Super Bowl of Tittygate,
Yeah.
my personal belief and how things work in the industry. If you remember, Michael Jackson was under fire during that time. And Janet said, "What can I do to get the heat off my brother? Let me show a titty."
Oh, wow.
That's what happened. They instantly stopped talking about Michael and they focused on her.
That's true. Well, today, Wendy Williams made her debut back on her show. If you all know, she's been out since December. In the meantime, they were saying that she had issues with her thyroids and with her, what's the other issue she has? I forgot what it is. Her Graves' disease. Yeah. And so, also there are rumors about her husband physically abusing her, and then possibly he has this mistress that he's been with for a few years now. She's supposedly pregnant, and he's looking to replace Wendy with the new mistress who's a lot younger. And so, so people have been waiting for her to come back because, you know, her profession is talking about pop culture and celebrity gossip and everything. So they were interested to see what she was going to say on her first day back. It was reported that she wasn't going to speak on it at all, and she was going to read a letter that her attorneys had drafted, and then move on, you know, business as normal. Well, today she came back and she talked a lot about her health and kind of with the Graves' disease and everything going on and why she has made setbacks. But then she went into the whole Jussie Smollett, you know, situation. Midway through Hot Topics, she said, shout out to my husband. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about what's out there on the streets, but as long as I'm wearing this ring, don't ask me any questions about my marriage. When you're with somebody for 29 years, you know you go through ups and downs, but pretty much they're still in love, and she's not taking the ring off. They're together. And it left people scratching their head about how can you talk about everyone else's business, but you don't really go in detail about yours. Do you think that it's her responsibility to address her own stuff on her show?
No. It's the responsibility of everyone else, because basically what she does is she gossips about everybody else, so it's everybody else's turn to go in on her. That's just how I feel.
What about you, Chike?
Well, Wendy's brand is being real. That's her brand. She's keeping it real, and she puts it out there on Front Street. You'll be kind of hypocritical if you don't live by that. And if that's your brand and that's what people look to you for, I think that her fan base and the people that she appeals to would appreciate her regurgitating that or spitting that out there to the people. I think that it would probably make her more popular because reality is her brand.
And another thing is because she reports on pop culture, and because she is a household name, she's part of pop culture.
Yeah.
And so
but she's always telling somebody else to tell the truth.
Yeah.
She's always telling them, this is what you should do. You should do this. It applies to you, too.
This is part of her controversy, though, because it'll get people talking about her.
That's true.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I was reading the comments because she had posted something. Well, I guess whoever handles her Instagram posts something about her being back and whatnot. And there's a lot of people who felt that she should have addressed it. They called her. They said she's not real. She's not what she claims to be. But then a lot of people said the same thing. They said, well, you know, it's not her job to tell her business. Her job to tell everybody else's business. So there were
also keep in mind, though. Also keep in mind, Wendy Williams is a best-selling author. How do you know that she's not doing all of this? I'm not saying that any of it's fake, but you know, this is information for the next book.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
So sell it. This is stuff you don't talk about. It's going to be in the book.
Well, the way all this came out is because, you know, of course, she's known for talking about everybody's business, and so the Daily Mail, they followed her husband for a year and documented everything he did. That's how they found out she was having this affair. I mean, he was having this affair with the younger girl.
Well, you know, the lady lives around the corner from him or something like that. Like she's close.
Oh yeah,
like she's not.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah,
not anymore. So what happened? She used to live. I read the whole article. She used to live like 20 minutes away, and then he bought a house 10 miles away from their house, and both him and her name were on the mailbox. Him and the mistress.
Oh, wow.
The name were on the mailbox.
Wow.
But it turns out his real name is not Kevin. Like she says, Kevin Hunter. His real name is Kelvin.
Mm-hmm.
But he uses Kevin because when he does his business deals, it's all under Kelvin, so it's kind of harder to trace what he's doing. So apparently his company bought the house that they were living in, him and his mistress. They bought the house, and now the house is up for sale. And so that's why people were thinking that he was looking to leave Wendy and be with this woman full time.
Now, see, this is what I don't understand, because he is Wendy's manager.
Yep.
Wendy is the money. You're gonna leave the money for the side chick? I don't get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
She's the estate. She's the bee's knees.
She comes off to me as someone who, some women, they get weak to men. You know what I mean? So I bet you.
Ding. There you go.
I bet you that he has it pretty good in whatever business deal they have. And so, because I can see her letting him be in charge of all that, over the money and all that. I don't know her, but I can just get that from her, just the way that she defends him. And, and this is not the first time stuff has come out and she's defended him, His mom even came out and said that he beats her. His mom said that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, his mom said that while she was out. But, I mean...
She's going to wind up being battered and beat up and left alone and paying him money like Mary J. Blige is paying money.
Most definitely. And I don't wish nothing bad on her, but, I think it's kind of... For me personally, I think it's kind of shady that... Because it's like she went from talking about her health... Because, I tuned in just to hear what she was going to say. She was talking about her health. And then, so Jussie Smollett. I'm like, what? What about you? But then she did address it later on, but she skated over it. But, like you said, she still got the check. So, let's take a quick break. Come back with more hot topics right back after this.
I thought I was enough for you, baby, but I guess I was wrong. What does she got that I ain't got? What can she do that I can't do? I got the beauty and the brains, but love made you go insane, and now you wanna walk away and give all your love away. I put in the time, and you're still not mine. Ooh, you're so stupid. Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? Was it worth it? I hope that it was worth it. Please tell me it was worth it. I wanna know, I gotta know, 'cause my stomach is hurting and my heart is aching, and I keep on praying that you are mistaken. Ooh, she can't talk how I talk, she can't walk how I walk. Ooh, how could you lose me? Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me?
closer to me. Yeah, yeah. Turn the lights down low, 'cause tonight we'll be alone. No interruptions from the phone. You got my body feeling bigger, dripping like I got a fever. No distractions will occur, 'cause you know what I prefer. Those famous three letters. Ooh, you and I gon' do it right. Ooh, you and I, what else to gon' do tonight? We don't get it in, 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 get it in. Hey, yeah. We're gonna do it over and over. I'll have your legs up on my shoulder. Hey, babe, you are the business. So let the neighbors witness how we put it down like this. From the bedroom to the kitchen, your love's like high definition. It's gonna be you and I for the rest of our lives. Those simple three letters go so ham together. Ooh, you and I gon' do it right. Ooh, you and I, what else to gon' do tonight? We don't get it in, 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 get it in. Break it down, yeah.
This is Janera, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you once again, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. Also check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. All right, so this is a very crazy story. So a Baltimore woman was killed by a panhandler according to her husband. But it turns out, so pretty much what happened, Jacqueline Smith is the woman. Her and her husband, Kevin Smith, were riding in the car, and a panhandler woman had a sign that said, "Help me feed my baby." So the woman pulled over, and the woman gave her money, and then a man comes out of nowhere and stabs her to death. They rush her to the hospital, and she's pronounced dead on site. Apparently, her mother never believed this story. Jacqueline's mother never believed this story. And so it turns out that recently, and this happened like last year, but recently, Kevin and his stepdaughter were arrested on first-degree murder. They think that they murdered her, or set up to have her murdered. They don't have a reason why, but but the fact that apparently the police know something if they arrested him on first degree murder.
Wait, did you say stepdaughter?
Yeah, the husband and his stepdaughter. What in the world? I mean, that's just so sad. Everybody said how nice the woman was and how sweet she was. What's going on with these people?
Father and stepdaughter are together. They were looking at the insurance money so they can live happily ever after. Because why would a stepdaughter and the stepfather and the stepdaughter going to bond up? Why would you bond up?
It was her stepdaughter. It was his daughter and her stepdaughter.
Oh, it was his daughter.
Yeah. Her stepdaughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Julian, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. That's crazy.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
You got nothing else but money.
Yeah, it can't be. Yeah, nothing but money. Nothing but money. I mean, people are losing it. People are losing this day and age.
I don't know how people can come up with, like, how do you come up with that plan? Like, how do you think and plot to murder someone and then take it to come into fruition? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because how do you not get stabbed or nothing happens?
That's what I was thinking when I was reading it. Yeah, nothing happened to you, but
I mean, and on the same principle, I know we talked about it last week, but the whole Smollett situation, like, you sat somewhere and thought up this plan, you directed this whole fiasco. That's insane.
Yeah. You know, that whole Jussie Smollett, I know that's not one of our hot topics tonight. That, to me, that still makes no sense. Someone said he must have not have said this plan out loud to himself because it's crazy. He
directed a horrible, bad scene. Yeah. It was a real bad scene. Horrible.
Yeah.
And as an actor, he should be ashamed of himself.
Well, he's an actor, not a producer. He's not a director. he probably acted, but he couldn't put the storyline together. Apparently.
Oh my God.
No, I just feel sorry for all the people that Jussie set back.
Yeah.
So he set back a whole lot of communities.
Yeah, he did. He did.
That's true.
So, but it is what it is. He had his reasons, and again, I can't. He's guilty because he hasn't been found guilty of anything yet.
Yeah, he's still saying that he's telling the truth. He's still saying he's telling the truth, and this happened to him. I think he just give up and tell the truth. All right, so I don't know if you've been keeping up with the whole Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson cheating scandal. So apparently, it was found out that Tristan Thompson, who's dating Khloe Kardashian and father of their child, cheated on her with a girl named Jordan, who is like a family friend who's like Khloe Kardashian considered her a like a little sister. So it all came out, and people had, the Kardashians pretty much unfriended her on social media, and the, media's been tearing her up. But she appeared on Jada Pinkett Smith's The Red Table Talk show on YouTube, which premiered on Friday. And pretty much in the story, she said that they did not have sex at all. She said that she shouldn't have been at the party. It was a party at Tristan's house. She probably shouldn't have been there. But she didn't think much of it because, they're all cool. But when she was leaving the house, he gave her a kiss. And she was shocked by it. But she didn't tell Khloe because she didn't want to get caught up in that drama. Well, Khloe took to Twitter after the Red Table Talk episode aired and pretty much said that Jordan was a liar and that Jada asked Jordan, is she the reason why Khloe and Tristan are no longer together? And she said, I know for a fact I'm not the reason. She said, I know this situation to make it easier for her to want to be with him, but I know I'm not the reason they're not together. So Khloe took to Twitter and said that she was a liar and that she is the reason why their family's broken up. She later came out and sent another tweet saying that it's really Tristan, it's his fault that that the family's broken up. She kind of retracted her statement. So people are asking, why is it typically when a woman gets cheated on, they're quick to go after the other woman, and not, their partner? who cheated. What are your thoughts on that as men? What are your thoughts on that?
I want you to go ahead and go first on this. Go ahead and give your thoughts on that.
Go ahead, Chica.
So I mean, this is a road with a bunch of avenues. Okay, so I've always been in the belief of the person that made the promise to you, or the one that you're in the relationship with, is the one that owes you something. The person outside the relationship doesn't owe you anything. There's no that person's a non-effing factor as far as I'm concerned, because you're the one that promised me, you're the one that's connected to me, you're the one that, you know, pledged yourself, or however you want to look at it. You're obligated. However, in certain situations, like you said that they were close, so they were all friends. In certain situations, if you have a friendship, listen, I address all of my homies' wives and their ladies differently. We do not chum it up. There is no kind of friendly situation. There is no ambiguous line as to what could possibly be happening because I treated a certain way. We're not hanging out without my boy around. I don't put myself in strategic, blurry situations. And sometimes when that stuff happens, you can now pull the other person into it, because especially if you're close, what are you doing? Like, that's a violation.
Yeah.
At least with us brothers, we have a code. I don't know what ladies do, but brothers have a code. We address our brothers, ladies, a certain way, keep a certain distance. There's just a certain amount of space that needs to be in between. I don't know.
Mr. Lane?
Well, I have a lot to say on this. I'll say this: the reason that women tend to, I guess, go after the other woman is because, you know, they're not thinking with like logic, like, oh, this dude right here is doing this. They're thinking with their emotion, and their emotion is, I can't believe this girl would do this, knowing that this is my man, or maybe not knowing. It doesn't even matter, because that's just the emotional side of women. As far as CJ said, like, I'm not following my ladies' friends on Instagram. I'm not doing any of that, because there's no need for me to have their phone numbers. I don't need them unless I'm talking to them through her. So that's probably a part of that whole problem. But then again, you know, the Kardashians, they live in a different world than most people. So
that is true.
You know, everything they do, everything they do is about money. So somehow they're going to get paid. It's going to be a show spin-off. It's going to be something to get coins, because that's just what they do.
Right.
But the normal people in this world, I think, you know, it does fall. The onus falls on the mate who's cheated or had some ill way about them, about the situation. The onus falls on them to either say, hey, this is what it is, address me and not this person, because this person had nothing to do with it, because that's how it is most of the time. But when it's someone that close, and I don't know, I wasn't there, so I don't know if they had sex or not. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure if he just kissed her, what did she do? Walk out and say, all right, that's enough? I mean, something else to me sounds like something else happened, and which it probably did. And I mean, I would say I'm giving a good shout out to her, you know, because it's Black History Month when she did it. So he was only, you know, going back to his people, to his roots. So, you know, and man, I don't know if they were together, because, you know, black men don't cheat. So I'm gonna stick.
Well, I left this part out. When she was leaving his house, he gave her a kiss. That was at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh wow!
But she
Okay.
said that's not abnormal in the Hollywood scene. People stay up all hours of the night partying, but she did not sleep with him.
You know that line that women say? It's been in a couple movies, and when the guy says, "I didn't even sleep with her,"
Right.
and the woman says, "Yeah, well, you should have."
Right. Right.
You know that line? Okay.
Yeah.
So I found out the meaning of that because it took me. I was like, "Why was I never understood it?" And I understand it now because it doesn't matter if you did, and it doesn't matter if you didn't. The emotion that the woman has is still as if you did. So
Right.
you might as well have done it because there's no change. That whole scene is very ambiguous, and perception is truth. So it doesn't matter if you did or if you didn't. It doesn't look good. It's a bad look, and her emotions are already where they are. So you might as well have done it if you didn't do it.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Chloe should befriend Jordan again? Do you think Jordan can come back from this in terms of her friendship with Chloe?
Well, the perception out there in the street now is that she did. So Chloe would look like a ding dong if she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why not? Why not go back? Like I said, it's some way in this world they're gonna find a way to make money off of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
True that.
Yeah.
their mother is about her coin. She'll
Oh yeah.
turn
She's
up.
making money now. Yeah.
From a man into a woman. She'll find a way.
Yeah. This is off subject, but I was just watching the Lorena Bobbitt documentary on Amazon, and of course, that happened 17 years ago. Do you know that what's his name? What's the guy's name? Bobbitt, John Wayne Bobbitt.
Yes.
He was still reaching out to Lorena saying, "Yo, we should get married, and we could really make some money doing some interviews, get back together." Like, people be trying to really do things like this to make money.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Because you remember, he's a good old Virginia guy. I was in college when that happened. He became a porn star after that.
Yeah. Oh, he became a porn star. He worked at one of those what are those, the sex houses. He did a lot. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, last story. Kevin Garnett's estranged wife is seeking over $190K a month in spousal and child support. So, as I say, it's cheaper to keep her. But according to The Blast, Kevin Garnett's wife of 14 years filed divorce last July and is seeking a boatload of bread. According to the court documents, Brandy wants $46,000 a month in child support, estimating that she will have the kids 95% of the time. She's also asked for another $146,000 in spousal support, and then another $300,000 to cover her legal fees. She claims that the former NBA champion earned around $20 million a year during their marriage, and even though he retired from the league, she said he took home $10 million in 2017. Kevin Garnett filed his response to the original divorce filed last month, asking for joint legal and physical custody of their kids. As previously reported, he also is asking the court to terminate spousal support from Brandy, citing a prenup that the couple signed a month before they got married. Do you think she's going to get that money?
All right. So, first of all, man, she wasn't with this man shooting in the gym. So, I feel like if they got a prenup, she don't deserve nothing. I mean, I'm pretty sure this man is going to take care of his children.
Right, yeah.
I've actually met Kevin Garnett. He's a pretty stand-up dude, so I can vouch for that. I think he'll do the right thing by his kids. Now, if you need $190,000 a month, a month, not a year,
right.
That's some people's salary for 10 years.
Yep.
And she wants that a month. Listen, go ahead and settle out of court for $20 million and be happy.
Right. Yep. Chica?
Yeah, I think the bulk of her money that she's going to get will be for the kids. It won't be for her. And she'll probably get alimony, but it'll be enough to take care of a living expense. But she's not going to get what she's asking for. She's definitely not getting that.
No, I don't think
but he's going to make sure that she has a roof over her head and she's able to be comfortable. But the bulk of the money is going to be for the kids.
And I'm glad that he did sue her for physical and legal joint custody, because that shows that he does want his children in his life. He's gonna take care of his children. But I ain't no way in hell I paid someone $190K a month. I mean, like you said, she wasn't in the court shooting around. She wasn't out there doing all that. And why do these women ask? Why does women ask for money that, like I said, this people's salaries don't even, for 10 years.
Well, I was just about to address that. I was just about to tell you that. So when you go into those talks, they tell you to aim high. They tell you to go really high, because when you get in and you start going back and forth and negotiating, you're coming down, way down off of that.
Yeah.
So
she definitely did that, aimed high.
She ain't super high.
Right. Well, she took that attorney's advice and took it to the next level. I got a number for y'all. D-Lay, man, I appreciate you joining us tonight and giving us your perspective. We got to have you back on. Definitely appreciate it. And Chike, as always, I'll see you in movie reviews. But everyone have a great week, and we'll talk next Monday, okay?
Hey, Steven.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Steven.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you got to check out the new IG page, Husband Material EST 2019.
Tell us about it. What is it?
It's just a page that we're doing some great debating on there. It's sort of like the Stephen Knight show.
Okay.
But we'll have we're more of the yin and yang of social media. So check it out.
And what's the handle one more time?
It's Husband Material EST 2019. Me and my man Derek.
Oh, Venable.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta check that out. All right. Well, everyone else go check it out as well. But D-Lane, thanks again. Chick, I'll see you in movie reviews, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Right back after this.
Why you keep loving me wrong? I'm tired, and I'm moving on. You feel me? No, I'm like a bum. Stop loving me wrong. Why you keep loving me wrong? I'm tired, and I'm moving on. You feel me? No, I'm like a bum. Stop loving me. I was with you, but living a lie. I was giving you life. You were loving me wrong for a while. You were cheating but standing in aisle. You're loving me wrong, you're loving me fake. Stop feeling my head and feeling my tank. Ain't I was so dumb to stay in the fence, cause I was so lost and stuck in your maze. Stuck in the sex, was stuck in the love. I let you dishonor my name and my love. I let you dishonor my pride like a fool. Denying myself just so I could choose you. I was with you but living a lie. I was giving you life. You were loving me wrong for a while. You were cheating but standing in aisle. Why you keep loving me? You're loving me wrong. You're leading me on. You gotta stop loving me. Stop loving me wrong. You're loving me wrong. You're leading me on. You gotta stop loving me. Stop loving me you wrong. You were fake and foul and wasted out. I can, I will, not won't allow you to change my soul or change my sound. So carry the bed that you slept around. You crept around when there's no doubt. STDs distributed out. You sold me a novel, then wrote me out. I cannot, I will not, I won't allow. Why you keep loving me wrong? I'm tired, so I'm moving on. You feel me? No, I'm like a bomb. Stop loving me wrong. Why you keep loving me fake? I've been wrote you off, you're fucking replaced. And this is the end of the song for the fake. Stop loving the ones who will love you. I was with you but living a lie. I was giving you life. Yeah. You were loving me wrong for a while. You were cheating but standing in denial. You gotta stop loving me. The first time I felt your face, memories can't be replaced. I think the angels in disguise, everything will be alright, 'cause I'm addicted to your love. I bring you the moon, I bring you the stars, if you never let me go. I bring you the moon, I bring you the stars, if you never let me go. I made mistakes, but let's rewind. Let's rewind, girl. And share the thoughts of you and I think the angels in disguise, everything will be alright, 'cause I'm addicted to your love. I bring you the moon, I bring you the stars, if you never let me go. I bring you the moon, I bring you the stars, if you never let me go. So put your hands in the sky, hands in the sky. Look no further, no matter the weather, with you forever. Put your hands in the sky, hands in the sky. If you never wanna let her go, if you never wanna let her go, let her go.
This is Miss Parker, and you're listening to the Stevie Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Now, BJ Williams is the founder of Can I Be Vulnerable, which is a platform that allows men to share their experiences with therapy, mental health challenges, and other topics that are typically discussed amongst men. Please help me welcome BJ Williams. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate you being on tonight. You know, this is a topic I think, especially in the black community, people don't talk enough about. So I was watching an interview you did on YouTube, and I thought, it was definitely eye-opening, and someone who is in therapy, and works in the mental health, thinks it's an important conversation. So let's start off. Tell me, how did you originate Can I Be Vulnerable?
Came about with my own video, but to back that up, I had a good friend of mine. We had been wanting to create something with mental health, and was just going back and forth shooting ideas. And I happened to be on vacation in Barbados, man, and I was literally on the beach, sipping something nice, looking at the ocean, and just, can I be vulnerable, hit me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just tell my own story of what led me into therapy, which was really just a way to talk about some things.
Exactly.
Some events that happened in my life, and so that happened. So I came home, I called my boy up, like, yo, just come to the house, bring the camera. He did. We cut it. I put it up on my social medias, and it kind of just went from there.
And for people that don't know, because everyone doesn't know what being vulnerable is, what is, in your opinion, what is the definition of vulnerability?
It's layered. It's a number of things. So for me, it was saying it's multi-layered. So for me, it was saying, like, all right, this happened to me, and as a result, this is how I coped with it, good or bad. This is what manifested itself from it, good or bad. This is how I treated other people around me, and this is how I felt about it. So it's really just, I guess in a nutshell, just opening up yourself to the world, to people that normally, because we put on a mask, we get up every day and put some kind of mask on. Maybe you got a job you hate, but you go in there with some kind of mask on, like, hey, everything's cool, and it's not. So vulnerability is showing the other side of that, unveiling that mask and showing how you really feel. So even an everyday question like, hey, how are you doing? We normally say, I'm good.
Right.
And you're really not.
Yeah.
So to me, vulnerability is saying, if somebody asks me how I'm doing and I say I'm not well, I'm really not feeling good. And I'm not talking like I'm sick, cough, cough. Like, no, I'm not. I feel like crap.
Right.
That's vulnerability. That's opening up, showing your wounds and showing who you are and, letting people, let them judge it. But
right.
You're being you and opening that up.
So what is it that you think that led you to the point where you were open to being vulnerable to, if you're putting it out there on your social media or, wherever, people all over can see it. What made you open to that?
I've actually always been an open person. I've always been an open book. I've never really hid much of myself. I've always been like, hey, yo, this is me.
Right.
At the same time, though, I never really got too in depth. So if I wasn't feeling, I'd be like, hey, man, listen, I'm not really in the mood right now, but I wouldn't tell you why.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something is wrong, but I would never really get in depth. So this was an opportunity for me to get in depth. So it wasn't too out of my realm to tell this story as deep as I did, just for me. So I've always been pretty open.
And I know, especially as men, sometimes people see being vulnerable as being weak. And you, I saw in your other interview, you talked about once you put it out there that just the women that reached out to you, just kind of giving kudos to you and just Why do you think that was the response? 'Cause typically you wouldn't think that would be the response. Why do you think that was the response for you?
I didn't think about it either way. I wasn't like I put this video on like I hope the girls see it.
Right.
Just, you know what I mean? Like it's just a byproduct of me opening up, and it was for everybody. Like you open up and people respond to it.
Yeah.
It was just funny because to me, like I didn't notice until a good friend of mine mentioned it to me. Like, yo, B, so who's been in your DMs about it? I was like, what are you talking about? And he just said it again, like, nah, dude. I know the women been in your DMs, and I was like, oh, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I went back, and it's been a funny joke, but that's literally just a byproduct of opening up. And everybody opens up to you. When you open up yourself and you allow yourself to be seen, the good, the bad, and the ugly, people respond to that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like, they can't use that against you. How are they going to use what you've already exposed against you? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a stutter. What you going to do, clown me for having a stutter? Like, I know I said that already.
Right. It's already been discussed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what you going to say to me?
Exactly.
Not just as an example. I don't stutter, but as an example, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to say to me after I've told everybody, hey, guys, I stutter. And here I am. So what you want to do?
Right.
So there's no weakness in that. You've taken your flaws and you've given it, you've given yourself power, because how are you going to use that against me?
Exactly.
I've already exposed it. Exactly. I'm not hiding from it. Hey, I'm here. What's up?
It is what it is. Right. And I know that you've been in therapy, in and out therapy for I think about 4 or 5 years, and so and you were very open with your your homies about that. Were they in therapy, or what was their take on you just being open about being in therapy?
So a lot of my friends have either been in therapy, and I come from the athlete world. Like I played college ball, and I had an opportunity to play pro. but most of the guys that are close to me come from that world as well.
Okay.
And so they had either already been in some kind of therapy just off the sport alone, because a lot of guys that are interviewed are retired professional athletes, be it football, basketball, and they've obviously ventured off into other things now. But at one point, they either played college ball or they were, professional ball. So they had been in some kind of therapy. If not, like, me going into the group chats like, yo, I went to therapy. That was the best thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They were real open to it, like, man, word, I was thinking about that. Or, if they hadn't thought about it, it was like, dude, you know what, I'm going to try that out. So there was no, there was no resistance to it.
Yeah. That's huge, too. On my Facebook page, we asked the question of the day, Monday through Thursday, and this is when I was contemplating going to therapy. I've been in therapy since about 2017, and I asked the question, would you go in therapy? Have you been in therapy? And I was overwhelmed by the people that everyone, of course, yeah, I've been there, done that.
Right.
Do you think that stigma is kind of breaking down now that people don't see it? Because I remember I've told people before that I had a therapist, and they said, "What's wrong with you?" But it's not that anything's wrong with me.
Yeah.
But do you think that stigma is kind of, breaking down?
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing as well.
Yeah.
I think, my parents and my parents' parents were of the generation of we handle everything in house,
Exactly.
pray it away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like talk to Jesus, talk to God. Yeah, which is, you can do that too. But I still need, that's my spiritual health.
Right.
But I still need tools and coping mechanisms here right now.
Yeah.
But so I will say, like, yes, the stigma is breaking down with my generation and generations after me. But like I said before, the generations before me and on down, because it wasn't accessible, I akin it to, like, to put it simply, I akin it to, like, being able to learning how to swim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your parents weren't able to swim because, face it, you know what I mean? Jim
They
Crow.
won't go by the water. Yeah, exactly.
You looked at the water, they was going to dry it out. You know what I mean? So, so, like, how can you, if you don't know about something, about, you know what I mean? Or it was just seen as white people stuff, like white people there.
Exactly.
Because they could, afford it. It was just, you know what I mean? So, like, to say that there's more to this than being a stigma that we just don't believe, we never even had the opportunity to go.
Right. It's true.
So all we could do was pray it away, or all we could do was, like, look the other way. You know what I mean? That's the only thing we really could have. That's the only resource we had available to us.
Yeah.
So as the resources become more available, the more the stigma breaks down. So, yeah.
I agree. And I see therapy as, I go to the gym to work on my physical health. I go to my therapist to work on my mental health. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's so important. And I got in therapy. I told, we have a mutual friend, Miss Parker, who's on the show. I told her, I got her in therapy. I got my gym partner in therapy. I got my best friend in therapy. I just think it's so important and key because we deal with so much as people every day. You know what I mean? And going through in and out of, life and everything that happens. And you need that, just that, what would you consider a good therapist? And I know it's not a one size fits all for everyone, but for you, what's a good therapist?
For me, I looked for a therapist, that was black.
Yeah.
Even though my very first therapist was Colombian, but I was like, all right, person of color, close enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted a black person, and I wanted a black woman first and foremost for my first one. I did get a woman, but like I said, she was from Colombia, so that was cool for me. Also, I needed somebody to give me homework. So it wasn't enough for me to come in, sit down, talk to you. I needed something to do after the session was done, to come back with something, to work on the work after, we're like having homework in class. You learn in class, and I need something to do after. So that was ideal for me. I also didn't want anybody that didn't talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll run into some therapists that will talk about themselves, and it might work for some people to try to build that rapport. But I needed to just unload everything, and I just need you to just sit down and decipher all of that.
Exactly.
So that was what I was looking for when I was looking for therapists, and it took a while to find that person.
Yeah.
And then just and the energy itself, like when I sat down, I was like, all right, I like her energy. She's cool, calm, and collected.
Right.
She was older as well. Like I believe she had grandkids. She was older, so I know she had been in it for a long time.
Exactly.
And so that was all encompassing. I needed vibe. I was looking for a woman of color. Specifically wanted a black woman, which is what I have now, but didn't get that off top. But I did find one eventually. And it's a woman a person that would give me homework. So after the fact, give me something.
That was important to you. Yeah, because, you know, what I was told when I was looking for a therapist, seeking out a therapist, it's like test driving a car. You may go to one and you just don't connect with or vibe with, but that doesn't mean that therapy doesn't work for you. It just means you haven't met the therapist that suits your needs, that you can grow from. You agree with that?
Yeah. It's just like finding a good restaurant. And like, hey, I want barbecue. You got to go through a few spots to find, the barbecue spot that got what you like, or the sushi spot where the chef cut it up how you want, or you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's just like finding a mate. Hey, you kind of got to date a few people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to date a few people to be like, all right, this is what I like, what I don't like, this is what I need, what I don't need, this is the energy that I like. It's just like finding anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying a bunch of pairs of shoes to find. Well, I know women do. Guys,
right, we see it. That's it.
You know what I mean? But like finding a fit, like you got to put it on a little bit. I don't like the way the jeans sit on this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like finding anything. You got to go through a few to get the one that fits you perfect.
Exactly. Well, what are some of the other goals for Can I Be Vulnerable?
Say it again, I'm sorry?
What are some of the other goals for Can I Be Vulnerable?
So we wanted to, as this thing has grown, so we've been reaching out. We wanted to partner up with the public services. So I partnered up with a few mental health facilities, a few therapists, psychologists, just building relationships. And if you come to our website or you come to the Instagram, the social media pages where you can click on a tab or something and see a list of facilities that you can talk to and use and go to. And we also have partnered up with public services as far as like LA. Well, I'm based in Los Angeles, so
okay.
LAPD, the fire department, because eventually we're going to get to the youth. And I've been in education for 10 years as well, so
nice.
I'm always around students, obviously, and I always hear a bunch of stories from kids. So one of my first goals with Can I Be Vulnerable was to actually get kids talking on camera.
Yeah.
Or getting kids to tell their stories, either by speaking on camera, writing it down. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but we will. But as far as like partnering with like LAPD or the fire department or the mental health department, like recruiting, not every kid is going to go to college. Not every kid is an athlete. Not every kid is, in the arts. Some kids just want to go to work. And so to be able to have a relationship with, someone like the LAPD, especially out here, because the there's no black people, in law enforcement or the fire department. They're looking for that. They're looking for that.
Yeah.
So if we can build that bridge and help mend relations with that, that's one of our goals. I want to have a scholarship fund to where we send a young man and woman to college to study therapy, to pay for the school of psychology, whether it be undergrad or postgrad. That'll be one of our goals as well. Be hosting events, every quarter. Just getting the guys together, having a good time. Just nothing like, getting our kumbaya on.
Right.
Get the brothers together, getting the, you know what I mean? I'm not the dude to have an event just to sit up and talk and just listen to a bunch of professionals. Nah, but just get the guys together and their families, have a good time, eat food, drinks, do some bowling, maybe a kickball tournament, just to see black people having a good time. That's really all we want to do.
It's a community effort, you know what I mean? The community effort. And so as you, of course, are, dealing with the vulnerability issues, you still want to, like you said, have a good time and come together and have that support system kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll be doing that as well. What else are we doing? Pretty much the basics of it. I take this back. We're doing we're the subject of an exhibit. So a photographer director out here is using Can I Be Vulnerable for her exhibit. And so now she's taking portraits of all the alumni now. And so hopefully if that does well, we can travel with that. We also want to partner up with other foundations as well. We're not the only ones doing mental health.
Yeah.
We're just the only ones doing it from our point of view. This is how we're going to tell it. But, it'd be dope to partner up with, like a Colin Kaepernick, Know Your Rights camp. You know what I mean? Like he has his lane, we have our lane, but there's no reason why we can't partner up and get both things popping. Or I know there's What's that group called? I can't think of them right now. There's Therapy for Black Men. I know they have their thing. There's a bunch of initiatives going on, and there's no reason why. It all falls under mental health.
Exactly.
There's no reason why we all can't partner up, link up, do something, an event, or, hey, we don't have the resources here, but they do.
Exactly.
We need them.
Mm-hmm.
They plugged it in right away. It's all under the umbrella, man. It's all helping. So we would love to partner up with whoever wants to partner up with us and see how we can all benefit from each other and, help everybody else out. So
most definitely.
I was looking at research.
Most definitely. Do you think it's crazy when you see how far this has gone? It started off from you being on vacation with your little drink, you know what I mean, chilled out, and this popping in your mind. I mean, and it's such a needed thing, because while there are other organizations doing things, this one I think is very important, because as many things that can target men dealing with mental health, I think that's so important. It's so important.
Yeah, it is wild, because to be honest with you, I did mine and that was going to be it. Like, right. I just wanted, it was my very own selfish thing. I wanted to do it. It was like a diary thing for me. That was it. I was going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
And I ended up, an ex-girlfriend of mine, she was like, she kind of gave me that side. I like, yeah, watch this. She already knew. She saw it coming.
She knew it. Yeah.
She knew it. She just looked at it. I said, I don't want to do it. She's like, yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. And she was right. Even my boy Brandon Thomas, he's the one that does all the editing for it.
Okay.
He was like, all right, we're going to keep this going. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then what ended up happening was my one of my college teammates, he actually was like, B, I want to do one. And it was significant because he actually had attempted suicide a week and a half before that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He was in and I talked to him all the time. We're in several group chats together. He's like a big brother to me. He's a little older than me, so... You know what I mean? Me and his younger brother are the same class, and they both played in the NFL and whatnot. But anyway, so I talked to him all the time. So we were actually going to do his film a week and a half prior to when we actually did it, but he ended up in a facility because he tried to cut his wrist.
Wow.
And so he called me up. He's like, B, and obviously he failed. It didn't. Thankfully, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And he was like, B, I got to tell this story. And he was already in the facility with other NFL guys. And so I drove to Oxnard, which is like an hour and something away, got a story, and then another buddy of ours was like, I want to do one as well. So, like, right after I did mine, we did 2 others, and I was like, all right, that's cool. But I wasn't in pursuit of getting these stories, and it wasn't until, to be honest, somebody was like, D, somebody will buy this from me.
Yeah.
Somebody will write me a check.
Right.
All right.
We can heal people and make money.
Help people yeah.
Right.
Cool. So I was like, you know what, cool. So then that's when I got on the horn. I started hitting all my partners up, like, hey, they saw the video and they we talked about it in the group chat as well. But I was like, hey, are you interested in it? It wasn't many guys that was like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
There were guys that were like, I'm not ready now. I do want to do one. Let me get my thoughts together. But most of the guys that were like, yeah, let's do it.
That's dope.
The only problem was, like, they're super busy. You know what I mean? Like, even though they're no longer playing, they have other business adventures.
Exactly.
They're married. They got kids. They got families. So I get it, and they travel a lot. So really it was just, like, finding a time to, like, get them in. Yeah. But we are now, 32 guys in with another 10 to 12 ready to do videos.
Nice.
And I've traveled. So I've gone to Vegas and I've done it. I've gone to Arizona. I've gotten some guys. I'm going to go to Denver and get some guys. I'm going to go to Seattle and get some more guys, New York. But there are guys waiting. I just, whenever I can get there or whenever they come to LA,
exactly.
Yeah. But for us, like, I think what's significant about us or unique about us is that I've seen many of people just talk about going to therapy and just going to therapy, you should go. But I haven't seen many people literally just show a man just open up.
Exactly.
Just to say, I haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure it's out there. Because I'm not going to say I'm the first one, but I can't say that I've seen too many stories of people just, this is, my mom was a drug addict. Here it is.
Right. It definitely isn't common. Yeah, it's definitely not common.
You know what I mean? You'll get, or if you do see it, it'll be a celebrity, but it's on stage.
Right.
They get on Dr. Phil, and it's an audience, and it's just so produced.
Exactly.
It's us. I film everything on my cell phone at a park or a studio, like in a room or something. You know what I mean? It just looks like you took your phone and did it yourself, and that's what's raw about it. So I think that's what's unique about us. Like, there's not too many stories, not too many, content where it's literally just, hey, listen, my dad was an alcoholic, or my dad was abusive, or it's not too many of that I've seen. So
Right.
I think that's what makes us unique. Is they talk about vulnerability, but we're just showing you people actually doing it.
Yeah, most definitely. How can people get involved?
Unless you live in LA, fellas that want to, tell a story, you can hit Can I Be Vulnerable on Instagram, hit the DMs. There's Can I Be Vulnerable, CIBvulnerable@gmail.com. You can email us there. We have a Twitter page as well, CIB Vulnerable. YouTube is CIBV. Really, just Can I Be Vulnerable is the easiest way to find us. Everything links to everything else. Same thing on Facebook. Message us on there. If you want to tell your story on your own, wherever you are, take your phone and say, I am, and I'm doing this, Can I Be Vulnerable? There's hashtag Therapy Thursdays. We're trying to get that going, like, Throwback Thursdays. So when you throw your throwback picture up, like, hey, I was hot in high school or college.
Right.
we want Therapy Thursdays to kick in just the same, just to kick in on your mental, just to check in with yourself or check in with everybody else. Like, hey, you know what? It's TBT, but it's also Therapy Thursdays. How y'all doing?
Therapy
This is
Thursdays.
a happy time here, but here's also your mental part. So just wanted to check in. So we want that to catch on as well. And hashtag Can I Be Vulnerable? That's pretty much it. If you see any videos and somebody's story connects with you, you can hit them up on their social media as well. The guys are pretty open about responding to folks about their stories as well. So really just Can I Be Vulnerable all around. You can Google it, YouTube it, Instagram it, tweet it, Facebook it. Well, somebody will respond in a timely manner to you.
Most definitely. BJ Williams, man, I thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I think the work that you're doing is so important and impactful, and just continue doing your thing. I'm glad that you had your friends to tell you and your girl to tell you, keep it going. Keep it going.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys, and thank you and thank my guys for opening up and telling their stories.
Yes,
this would be nothing without you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys sitting down with me and opening up and letting me post that out to the world, man. You guys are amazing for that. And thank everybody else for watching. Hopefully, if you haven't had a story that resonates with you, stay tuned. We will get one that speaks to you. So I thank you guys as well.
Most definitely. Well, listen, our thanks go out to BJ Williams. For more information about Can I Be Vulnerable, please go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com, and we'll be right back after this.
All right.
Ooh, jackpot.
Cut the tail off the snake. Clip it. What does it take for a n*** to be great, huh? A couple M's in the house on the lake. If that's the case, I've been great. You just late, huh? She say I got good taste. Cause her fat with a little waist. So she wanna take me on a little chase. Capture that poop, beat it up, then escape, huh? Yeah, I'm on go. My they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Sold millions, old millions. You bitter, yo feelings, old feelings. Middle finger, boy. Gossiping like hoe, I should call them gold diggers, huh? Just like hoe. Cut the check. I don't want nothing from you, but the check, huh? Respect, cause any given time, turn for the check, huh? Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Rolly, call some stacks. Holy moly, I am back. That's a Tesla, not a act. 80s, baby, I was born dope. Whip it up, make a dub pack. Bought a lack, fixed it up on dubs now. Ho, checking for me, checking for me. Got the clout 9, tell them wait a second for me. Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Took a loss, cause haven't been a business. Stay out. Soon turn a witness. 40 cal, now you running. Boy, fitness. Drop they 100 on some Louis. Yeah, drop 900 on some Gucci. Whoa, drop 2 G's on some Gucci. Strawberry poop. I call her mama smoothie. Yeah, I'm on go. My they on go. Yeah, la mama, she on go. Hey, who did it? I don't know. He got my name in his mouth, take it out. She got my thing in her mouth, can't take it out. No, you out here trolling for the clout, shut your mouth. You being goalie for the clout, hit his spouse. Oh, swaggerlicious, they say chingy. All white coupe, that's a Mercedes brick. Flip a stack without hitting a lick. E40 with the balls, cause with this I'm sick. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm on go. My they on go. Yeah, la mama, she on go. Hey, who did it? I don't know.
For that.
I would kill her, he a killer. Keep monkey nuts like we gorillas. We ain't no misses, we some hitters. They going broke, we getting rich. Pull up with a stick and I hit it. I won't never ever leave a witness. Put my wrist in the pot and I whip it. The fish in the water like I'm going fish. These niggas they hot, tell it, tip it. I got that water, splash, dip it. Bust open the chicken, saran, brick. I'm serving that Bobby Brown with Adidas designer, brand. They sending my swag, splash, dripping. Turns off in the hard transition. I got the racks, bad men. I'm playing with pots, pains, dish. My flip from Japan, Tan, Ricky, Mike Santan, to bang, brick. Effing blue tip, paint stick. I got the gas bag, smell it. I bet Coca-Cola pellet. I got real niggas jelly. These niggas they broke, they lying. Well, these niggas they mouth rats. Tell somebody gon' need a paramedic. I got 30 courage, step this Draco kicking like it's Tekken. Niggas goose geeking neck. We come, they running, leaving step. Can't leave the house without the weapon. I got Glocks and Smith and Wesson. I got ARs, Mac 11. Niggas broke, they bitches stressed. They going through a great depression. My Gucci guilty, red ass. Spank 'em, teach that boy a lesson. Cable, little nigga, chest. I'm a OTD rapper. I can't leave it on the dress. I'm a designer, dripper, dresser. They drawing tips, they extra sketches. You got Molly, mine's better. I've been ducking alphabet. Pull up with a stick and I hit it. I won't never ever leave a witness. Put my wrist in the pot and I whip it. The fish in the water like I'm going fish. These niggas they hot, tell it, tip it. I got that water, splash, dip it. Bust open the chicken, saran, brick. I'm serving that Bobby Brown with Adidas designer, brand. They sending my swag, splash, dripping. Turns off in the hard transition. I got the racks, bad men. I'm playing with pots, pains, dish. My flip from Japan, Tan, Ricky, Mike Santan, to bang, brick. Effing blue tip, paint stick.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going well, Steven. How are you guys?
Cannot complain. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. I had a very quick trip to Atlanta, as you saw.
I saw
that.
Instagram.
You.
And
well, I'm still waiting on. Still waiting on my shirt.
And you made sure you put in the quick trip to Atlanta. I was like, Did you have a good time though?
You know.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. The weather was. It was kind of rainy on Sunday or all day Sunday, but it was good compared to the 30s and 40s in DC. So even if it was just that brief weather, but it was fun.
That's good.
Went downtown. Yeah, still love the city. I don't love the traffic, but
exactly. Well, I'll let you and Chike take away with movie reviews.
All right. Well, I saw last weekend the Lego Movie 2, and this movie has actually been out for a few weeks, and I've been wanting to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it, and then with the Oscars and everything. But this movie follows immediately after the first Lego movie, and at the end of that movie, if you remember, the dad lets the younger sister of the main character, play with the Legos, and she introduces her Duplo toys, which are kind of like the toddler version of Legos. And with that kicks off a lot of events, and the Duplos are very destructive, and we learn that there's kind of this battle between the people in the Lego universe versus the invading aliens, as they kind of consider them, with the Duplos and everything like that. And the story then kicks off 5 years later and sets up a whole string of events of the sister and the brother kind of working on opposite realms, where this world is still, your main character, Emmett, and everyone that you know from the first one are hiding, in a sense, in this apocalyptic Lego world from the alien invaders. And without going into too much, it's really just kind of a carry-on of that story and what happens along the way. For the sequel, it was pretty good. I will say I did not like it as much as the first one, and this movie had a lot more singing numbers than the first one, so that kind of threw me off. But if you are a fan of this one, if you like the Lego Batman movie, the humor's still there. Your favorite characters are still there. So definitely, if you're looking for a fun comedy to check out, I would recommend it.
Cool. Did you see anything else?
No. I had a quick trip, so I didn't even have time to see Steven, so barely had time for a movie.
That quick trip really kills me. Oh, man. So I'm still on movie boycott. I think the first movie I'm going to see is Captain Marvel, which I'm actually going on Friday evening. So can I tell y'all that I'm just upset because I bought 3 tickets and I paid over $50? I'm a little upset. Why are movie tickets so expensive?
Well, you don't get the senior, do you?
That was the senior. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, I still have Movie Pass, and I still try to catch movies when I can with it while I can. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the prices are just outrageous.
This is my point. That's $50+ for 3 movie tickets, adult tickets. The movie better be worth it if I'm spending that much money just to come sit in the theater. That's not even with the snacks and everything. That's just the ticket to come sit down and watch. Granted, it is 3D, but really, seriously, it better be good.
Oh, you got the 3D plus. Well, I'm excited about it. I saw the trailer for it in the Lego movie, and that was the first actual trailer. I just don't actively go out seeking trailers, and I was excited. I didn't even realize Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie until I saw the trailer, even if he's kind of a little bit CGI'd or made to look younger.
Yeah.
But it looks like a fun movie. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited to see it, and that's all I really can say about it. I don't want to think about it too much because I don't want to hype it up and then I'll let myself down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying not to think about it too much. But that'll be the first film that I've seen probably since the beginning of the year, like in a theater. I've been sticking to, my streaming and HBO and Showtime. So, like we talked in Hot Topics, I saw the Leaving Neverland documentary on HBO. I saw the first part anyway. And the documentary follows Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who both accused Michael Jackson of sexual misconduct with him around the time of 1993 when Michael was first accused. They ran to his defense and said that, that never happened. Now all of a sudden, here we are in this documentary, and they say that, in fact, something did happen. I've only watched the first part. It's very disturbing, very graphic, very detailed. So I've definitely, you don't want to have your children listening to, especially if they're young and they're fans of Michael Jackson. Maybe you shouldn't have them watch it. But I'm looking forward to watching part 2, and also looking forward to the interview that Oprah is going to have with Mr. Robson and Safechuck regarding the documentary. So hopefully, we'll get more answers. But definitely check that out. It's very probing, very investigative, and detailed. The other documentary I saw also on HBO is called Say Her Name, and it's the life and death of Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland, if you don't remember, in 2015 she was arrested and then found dead in her holding cell. Again, a very powerful documentary. They talk about her activism, which, I didn't know a lot about Sandra Bland, but watching the documentary and seeing how much of an activist she was and how much she was involved in the community and helping other young girls, and it just didn't seem like she would wound up in this type of situation. But then again, because she was an activist, I could see how she would be a target for the police because she was about stamping out injustice. It's a very, very good documentary. I even wept a little bit because it had me choked up. Being African American in this country and dealing with the authorities, it's an ordeal, and it's definitely played out in this documentary. Definitely check it out. It'll have you thinking 2 and 3 and 4 different ways by getting pulled over by the cops. Definitely check it out. And the last film I saw was on Netflix. It is on Netflix. It's called High Flying Bird, which stars Andre Holland. You know him from Moonlight and American Horror Story. Zazie Beetz. She's the female love interest on Atlanta, the series. And the legend actor Bill Duke. If you don't know him, you definitely know him from Car Wash. And Sonia Son, she's from The Wire and the new show The Chi on Showtime. And Melvin Gregg. Now, this film is about a sports agent, basketball sports agent, and a basketball new draft. And this film really shines a light on that period of time after you're a draft pick before you actually make a name for yourself on the team, which is a gray area for a lot of people. We don't really know what these players go through. We think it's all, the high life, after they get drafted and, they get the jersey and they go to the team. It's not so for many of them, especially if you're not, in superstar status yet. You're building a name for yourself. And it's a really gray area. You're getting acclimated to a new team, and, every day you have to prove yourself, why you're there and why you're on the team. This movie really, really shines a light on what that does to a player and what they're dealing with outside of the cameras and actually the fame and all that other stuff. So definitely check it out. I thought it was a really good movie. It was educational because I learned a lot, especially about, sports law and how the branding and the marketing goes when it comes to new athletes and getting them acclimated into a team. Definitely check it out. I give that one 5 stars. That's about it for me.
Nice.
Anything coming down the pipeline?
Besides Captain Marvel, there's a couple on the list. I know Chica will probably be interested in Us coming out later this month. That's the latest Jordan Peele horror thriller that's coming out. looks a little too much for me watching the trailer. But then
What do you mean?
Hotel Mumbai. Sorry?
I said, what do you mean it's too much for you?
I don't, so I don't like horror movies anyway, and just watching the trailer definitely confirms that I will not enjoy watching this movie.
Okay.
So, I know what I like and I don't like, and I don't want to be scared or creeped out. So.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. Yeah, as of right now, it's just Captain Marvel for me. Yeah, I'm slow to warm. I'm begging Hollywood to do better.
Yeah, well, hopefully things pick up.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it from me.
All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for letting us know what to spend our money on and what not to. Have a great week, and we'll talk next Monday.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, right back after this.
We in this biatch, like all over our sweethearts. Self-discovery, lesson learned, we on our Alfred Hitchcock. East Coast hard, West Coast hard. Rest in peace to pop, poetic hip-hop. Round and round we go. Life cycle, tick-tock, it's me. Somewhat an anomaly, first degree of hip-hop hypocrisy. Never fit in what you motherfucking label me. As I sit back and watch, never interject. Money in the bank with the ill concept. Vision is clear, never gets complex. Chillin' on the scene like Peace Hotel. For the 1800 and vanilla Coke. Sit back and chill, maybe even smoke. Summertime lounging, good to go. Chillin' at the beach, that's how we roll. I make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. I make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it fly high. I make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. Make it sexy, baby. Make it shake it. Just like sexy, baby. We be the scene stillers, way back Castillers. Hollywood Hill, real dealers, no filters. Lounging in the cut with the cold chillers. Twisted on the sun, propaganda for fun. Run, forest, run, dream builders. Fly establishment, clean with fresh kicks. Good evening, sunbathing where the money went. Harlem bars, Harley stars, two twisted Uber cars. Stripper poles, diamond gold, church basket, tithe and hold. Private gyms, assaulting ribs, exclusive diamond fold. Friends, purple label, more stable. Life coach, now you're able. Cabotins, spa stands, freaky hints. But yo, where the money, where to make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. Make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it fly high. I make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. I make it sexy, baby. Make it shake it. Just don't break it. Get that sexy.
Scene stillers, Hollywood heel dealers. Lounging in the cut with the big willers. Rocking clean whips and fresh kicks. Harlem bars, Harley stars, twisted Uber cars.
Car ride by with the booming system. Throwback vibe with a good detention. Loving who you are, don't be scared to mention. Chillin' with my beats, no ill pretension. Catch the waves, dancing days, Sundays, fun days, Fridays, payday, make money any day. Whatever you do, love it and be free. And remember, I'm making sexy, baby. Make it sexy, baby. Make it super fly. Make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it fly high. I'm making sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. Make it sexy, baby. Make it shake it. Just don't break it. Get that sexy. Make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. Make it sexy. Make it fly high. Make it sexy, baby. Make it sexy. Make it super fly. Make it shake it. Just don't break it. Get that sexy. Make it sexy, baby.
The vulnerable one.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Aaron Cosby, how's it going?
Happy Monday, Stephen.
Happy Monday. How was your weekend?
It was quick.
Yeah, they're always quick, it seems like, huh?
Yeah.
You're blinking, it's Monday.
The first weekend of March, man. It's already March.
Can you believe
Already
it?
March.
Can you believe it? Wow.
The days they roll, man.
They
just
do.
roll.
It was just the 1st of January. It was just the 1st of January. Now it's already the 1st of March or the 4th of March.
Isn't it
But
something?
yeah.
Something, yeah. The year is nearly 25% over.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world of sports?
Nothing. There's nothing going on, man. It's like crickets. Okay, I will say this: there is worry in Lakerland. Like, folks are scared now. Folks, I guess they're finally realizing that the Lakers really are not going to make the playoffs. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
They are. Last I checked, they were 4.5 games back from the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. And they lost to the Phoenix Suns. And the Phoenix Suns they're like one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, but they beat the Lakers. So it's just not. I don't know. Like, I was looking at Bron in his Laker uniform, and it just doesn't look right.
Oh, you don't think so?
I'm all for Bron. That's my dude. Everything, but I don't know. Like it ain't like it don't look right. I don't know. It just doesn't. It don't feel right. I mean, it just doesn't. It looks off. It just seems it's not flowing. It's something's missing. Something's off. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to ride this out next year, if this is like a one and done thing or what. I want this to work.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I want this to work. I really do. I really do.
And they were supposed to be getting Carmelo in talks with Carmelo Anthony, but I heard that's gone on pause now.
Yeah, Melo, with all due respect to Melo, man, he does his work ethic just wasn't good. Like he's just kind of
going with the flow.
He's not a leader.
Yeah,
and he
wouldn't need to be a leader though if Bron's there. You know what I mean?
Right, but still, I mean, even when Bron was with the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
You still had Wade there. Wade still had his presence. Wade still was the man.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that Melo would just, I don't know. Like I think that he would bring the energy down with the team. Like I'm not feeling it. I'm not.
Yeah.
If Bron could some kind of way help elevate Carmelo's game, then maybe that'll work.
Right.
Maybe that'll work. Maybe Melo will become inspired by Bron, and maybe maybe something special will happen. But I don't know. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. This team is trash, and the fans of the Lakers are pissed.
Yeah.
And because this is not what they thought. Like they really thought that when Bron is on the team, that at least you're going to make the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Might not win the championship, but you at least are going to make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
This is bad. This is bad. But it goes to show you though that the teams that he was on in Cleveland is crazy. Like prior to him going back to Cleveland, that squad was pretty much trash.
Right.
I mean, I shouldn't say trash. It was not a good squad.
Yeah, yeah.
But they had good players.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. They had really good players. Think about it. Kyrie Irving was on that squad. Before Bron came back.
Yep, that's
that
true.
was Kyrie, right? Remember, that was Kyrie's team.
Yeah, yeah.
They were struggling, but it was still his squad.
Exactly.
Bron came back, made it work. But again, there was talent there. The Lakers, there's just no talent. there's not talent there. So, anyway, next trash. I mean, they need to. Well, it's too late to make trades now. The trade deadline is over, so you can't really make any major trades. So the whole Melo thing, I don't. Is Melo still even playing? Is he on the squad? I mean, I'm just joking, Melo, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm just teasing, bro. Okay, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Lakers, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I think that they're done, and I will leave it at this. Bron is going to probably go to Magic Johnson and be like, yo, Magic, these are the players who I think we should get on the squad.
Mm-hmm.
And if we cannot get those players, or at least one of those players, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bron's not going to have 2 losing seasons.
Oh, nah.
It ain't happening.
Exactly.
It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. So if they don't bring in some talent, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's out. So yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Most definitely.
NFL Combine. Have you been keeping up with that?
I have not. But fill us in.
Okay. Nothing really fill in. I mean, it's just brothers running around and jumping and
showing off their talent. Yeah,
showing off their athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But the NFL makes a lot of money off of it because people watch it.
Yeah,
they really watch it.
Uh-huh.
And it's cool to see, but at the same time, it feels I feel that these brothers should be getting paid. Again, this is another situation, and I don't know if they are or not. I don't think so because technically they have not signed a contract with the NFL, with an NFL team. They are trying to get drafted by the NFL. So it's like, okay, here we go again, exploiting these athletes to make money, and they're not getting any money off of it. People won't be watching this if there weren't athletes there participating in it.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
You know, so it's another situation where I'm just kind of I'm torn by it. I'm just torn by it.
Yeah.
Again, people are making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of these brothers' backs. And, and it's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. So anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. People, if you watch it, cool. I watched it. It was all right. I don't know if I watch it next year because it really wasn't all that. I'm just glad that nobody's body parts fell out.
Right. We didn't have any wardrobe malfunctions.
Any wardrobe malfunctions.
Right.
None of that.
Exactly.
That's all that I got tonight, man.
All right. Well, I know.
No. One last thing. The AAF. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, that's that new football league. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there's a team in Atlanta.
Yep.
And and there's a team in Birmingham. I think there's a team in Memphis. Like there's some team. They're kind of sprinkled all throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I tried watching a game, and it's just maybe it'll get better.
Yeah, that's new.
Next, because this is the first season,
right?
So there's it should get better. It should get better.
Yeah,
it's not good right now, in my opinion. It's not good, but again, it's just the first season, so
most definitely
it should get better. And the NFL actually supports it, which is
that's good. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. So anyway, all right. Next, I'll talk to you not next week, y'all. I will be away from the show next week, but the week after I will be back to talk about sports. So
most definitely. Good luck on your midterms.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good week.
All right, thank you. Same to you.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Don't make me wait, no. Don't be afraid, no. I'm a big boy, I'ma eat everything on my plate. Oh, don't be ashamed, no. I know you ain't got your face on, but I love it in the morning. Inside your legs ain't nothing like baking hotcakes and eggs. Oh, we gon' get it in, get it in. Give you my love. We gon' turn this bedroom to a kitchen. Let's get ahead. Oh, you can't get away, get away. Stop playing, girl, give me them cakes. Rolling and rolling, girl, between the sheets we rolling. Nothing but love in the moment. I got to have.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's your main man, Chengalang, representing. And right now I'm hanging out with my folks, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show right here, right there, however you want to do it. Let's go.
Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And shout out to BJ Williams and Can I Be Vulnerable for joining us tonight. For more information, go to our website, thestephenknightshow.com. Hope you have a great week, and talk to you next Monday. Peace and good night.
Tonight it's all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright.